Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, here back with another reaction video. Today, we're finna react to the NBA in 2003, the year 2003 in the NBA. Oh man, I'll say this was a okay season. Ended on a boring note because who the fuck was trying to watch the Spurs versus the New Jersey Nets? Besides Spurs fans and New Jersey Nets fans. Come on, bro. Ain't nobody trying to watch that shit. That shit was garbage. But anyways, though, yeah, man. This was Michael Jordan's farewell tour. This was Kobe's emergence into the star that he was gonna become, with all them 40 pieces and stuff. I remember the Mavericks, they was on the come up this year. They ain't really do much, but they was definitely on the come up this year. Who else was a shocker team, or a team that was looking like they was gonna rise? I'm trying to think, but I can't really remember. Whatever. Anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into this. This is Jordan's final year, Kobe's ascension into the nigga that we would know to become. Yeah. Tim Duncan pretty much showing everybody why he is him. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Let's take it back to the year 2003. Jack Sparrow and the Pirates of the Caribbean hit theaters worldwide. The first Call of Duty. All of us had a crush on.
She's got it going on. That's my favorite song. That was my favorite song.
Hardwood, the 02
Stacey, can't you see? You're just not the girl for me.
As one
I'm
legend
in love with
Vince Farewell to the
Stacey's
game
mom. That was my
helped
shit.
revolutionize another legend who hadn't even played an NBA game.
Man, ain't nobody
was
worried
already
about this
beginning to
bum ass
build his
nigga.
legacy.
Man, fuck out of
As
here.
one
Y'all dick
dynasty
riding this nigga. He ain't even in the league yet.
collapsed,
Fuck out of here.
Another was quietly forming to seize its place in history. Revenge, redemption, heartbreak, victory. This season had it all. You're going to want to stay tuned for this episode in the NBA in the year 2003, a year in review. As the 02-03 season dawned, a single question whispered through the halls of the game, flickering in every huddle, every headline, every barbershop debate. Could the Lakers truly claim a fourth straight NBA championship?
It was looking like it.
Truly remarkable, historic.
It was looking like it, though. I mean, dog, Kobe took a big leap. Shaq started regress. This is really where Shaq started regressing. This was the year where Shaq started regressing. Kobe started like showing signs like, hey, he that dude, bruh. I think he went on like a 40-point tear. Then he tied the for most 3-pointers in a game, and that was pretty much the record until Steph Curry and Klay Thompson came along and destroyed that record. Yeah, Kobe was going crazy this season. Then there's the infamous 55 on Jordan game where Jordan was talking shit. Then Kobe, he held that shit in till he played the Wizards again, and then bust Jordan ass and gave him 55. That's yeah. What else? Yeah. It was looking like they was going three-peat, bro. Cause Kobe was going crazy, but it was clear that Shaq was regressing, bro.
And flat out unheard of. Their quest to rewrite what was possible in the modern NBA got underway as the season kicked off. However, as reality set in to start the season, the three-time defending champion Los Angeles Lakers unfortunately appeared to be nearing the end of their reign. Shaq was injured for the majority of the regular season, and although Kobe was cementing himself as one of, if not the best player in the league, averaging 30 points per game and playing all 82 games, the Lakers' time at the top seemed dangerously numbered, and many teams in the Western Conference took note and looked to take full advantage. At the start of the season, everyone's choice to win it all was the Sacramento Kings. Coming off the most controversial Western Conference Finals matchup in recent memory against the Lakers last season, Sacramento was hungrier and ultra motivated to win it all after being so close the season prior. Unfortunately for Sacramento, they were never able to catch any sort of meaningful rhythm in the regular season, as significant injuries would sideline point guard Mike Bibby, who was their underrated superstar in the making, and forward Chris Webber, their multi-talented, multi-dimensional power forward for big portions of the regular season. Sacramento in 2003 is a reminder that your roster can be as deep and as talented as any team in the NBA, but you still need a bit of luck to go all the way.
Yep. Yeah, Sacramento was just too banged up this year and for years to come. Chris Webber, I don't know what was going on with Chris Webber, but his body was just breaking down on him for some odd reason.
Despite all of this, Sacramento still achieved the second best record in the Western Conference, posting an impressive 59 wins. But as you can imagine, there were many other teams out west who were hitting their stride at the perfect time. One of these teams was the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, the Mavericks came up this year. I remember that.
14 games. This Mavericks team was deep, featuring a big three of their own in Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, and Michael Finley. Nowitzki, the fifth-year forward out of Germany, led the charge in Dallas, averaging 25 points and 10 rebounds this season. Dirk's true impact, though, came in how he was revolutionizing the power forward position, which had often been associated with rugged inside play from players like Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, and Charles Barkley. Dirk made it okay for a 7-footer to step outside and be a threat from three-point range. And this year, he did so in dominant fashion, earning MVP consideration and making his second straight All-Star game. These Dallas Mavericks won 60 games this year, the first time this franchise has surpassed the 60 wins mark, truly showcasing just how special this Mavericks team was. The other team that would win 60 games this season was the San Antonio Spurs. The heartbeat and driving force of the franchise, Tim Duncan, was putting together another MVP campaign, averaging 23 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And he was doing so in typical Tim Duncan fashion. Never too flashy, never stealing media headlines, never riveting you with any spectacular dunk, block, or drives at the rim. Night in and night out, he just went to work.
Yep, just got the win. That's all it was with Tim Duncan. He was just about getting the win.
Locker room. As this year's All-Star Weekend approached, Kobe Bryant was the leading vote-getter to start in the All-Star game, and he deserved it. As great as
he was
Kobe
going crazy
had been the
this
last
year.
3 years, he took his game to a whole new level in 2003. His entire repertoire was on full display, firmly establishing himself as an all-time great. Many debate which Kobe year was his apex, and 2003 is at the top of that list. One of the more mind-boggling achievements from this year is he would go on to score 40 or more points in 9 straight games. 40 points! Even in today's NBA game, that is insane. So back in 2003, this was truly unbelievable. Following Kobe was Orlando's Tracy McGrady, who without question was enjoying his most dominant season ever, leading the league in scoring at 32 points, while also averaging 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Following T-Mac was Vince Carter, who was injury-riddled for most of this year, but his high-flying aerial assault was still captivating fans and crowds alike, establishing himself as still one of the most popular players in the NBA. By 2003, and for a couple of years up until this point, the NBA was in the golden age of generational power forwards that would come to define the decade.
Unicorns.
Tim Duncan was probably for a couple of years now the undisputed best.
These were like the beta unicorns, though. These were like the beta unicorns. This was like the first version of the unicorns before the Kevin Durant's and the Giannis's and the Victor Wembanyama started showing up. These were like the betas. These like the beta versions of them. Like they weren't fully complete. Like they didn't have all the intangibles, but they showed flashes that 7-footers that could most likely almost damn near do it all. You had KG, you had Powell, you had Dirk, you had Chris Webber. Yeah, you had some pretty good power forward play, man. in the 2000s, man.
Best power forward at the time. Next up, you would probably go with Kevin Garnett of the Minnesota Timberwolves over Dirk Nowitzki, because as revolutionary to the position as Nowitzki was, KG was as versatile a player that this game has ever seen.
Yeah.
There was literally nothing on the court he couldn't do, and he played with a fire.
Plus, he played both ends of the floor. Dirk Nowitzki is not a good defender.
After those three,
oh yeah, I forgot about Jermaine
Chris
O'Neal.
Webber and Rasheed Wallace were probably the next tier up, in that order also, but all three of these forwards were ultra talented in their own right. O'Neal was leading a young and scrappy Indiana team with a talented post game and phenomenal shot blocking abilities. Chris Webber was probably the best passer at this position, along with being a force on the block as well. And Rasheed Wallace was probably second to only Duncan as the most talented offensive player on the block at the
Facts.
time. Even after
hey, they don't talk about Rasheed Wallace enough, bro. Rasheed Wallace was that dude, bro. Like, before he got to Detroit, when he had to sacrifice a lot of his game for the team, when he was on the Trailblazers, bro, Rasheed Wallace was like dangerous. Rasheed Wallace was dangerous, bro. That was like, dude could pretty much do it all. He could pretty much do it all. Like, I feel like if he never went to Detroit, bro, probably would have been remembered, bro. I feel like he would have had a season. I feel like he would have had a breakout season where he was averaging like damn near 30 a game, probably like 28, 29 a game, on like 11, probably like 10, 11 rebounds a game, 6, 7 assists, 1.5 blocks, 1 steal. Like, I feel like he would have had one of them seasons, bro, if he was still on his own. But he got with Detroit, got his ring, and he had to sacrifice he had to sacrifice his talents for the sake of the team. It is what it is. I mean, he got a ring out of it, so I mean, he can't really complain. But dude was really a problem.
6, you had power forwards like a young Pau Gasol in Memphis and Elton Brand with the LA Clippers, who were becoming instant 20 points, 10 rebounds, double-double machines. And you can't forget the older but still very effective Karl Malone from Utah, who was still averaging 20 points.
We don't talk about that, bro.
One game in the regular season.
Nah, we can't support that man over here.
A minor.
Nah, we can't support that over here.
In no other time did the league see a better group of power forwards, truly a monumental era for this position. In a surprising turn of events for this year's All-Star game,
oh yeah, I forgot about
Yao Ming of the Houston Rockets was the 4th leading vote getter because the league opened up All-Star balloting globally, which included the approximately 1 billion people in Yao's homeland of China. This meant that Yao would be the starting center for the West, catapulting him over Shaq, who had been the mainstay Western Conference starting center for years. And up until this point, and within other spheres of his life, Shaq was not above pettiness. And probably as a joke initially, but baked in with some sprinkle of realism, Shaq went in publicly on Yao, calling him names, questioning his hype, and kind of just bullying him, to be honest. Whether it was because of the All-Star starting snub, or whether Yao was flashing signs of dominance in his rookie year at center, or whether Yao just towered over Shaq standing 7'5", Shaq poked and prodded Yao from afar. Which is why one of the most highly anticipated regular season matchups was LA's visit to Houston in January 2003. Everyone was hyped for Shaq vs. Yao Volume 1, including hundreds of millions of additional eyeballs in China. The opening moments of the game saw Yao block Shaq's first 3 shots, and on the other end, Yao would hit his first 3 shots. The crowd was going crazy, and it looked like Yao was officially the best big man in the game today. But at the end of the day, order will be restored as Yao tallied a respectable 10 points and 10 rebounds to Shaq's dominant 31 points and 13 rebounds. Houston did end up winning though on the heels of a 44-point barrage from Steve Francis.
The franchise.
And very underrated.
Show that man some love. Show Stevie Franchise some love, man. I'm still trying to find a Rockets jersey, man.
Lead guard as there ever
I'm still trying to find the
Stevie
Rockets jersey.
Would also make his first All-Star appearance in 2003. As April approached, many teams were excited to get the playoffs started to avenge playoff hardship from a year prior. One team was the Dallas Mavericks, who got bounced out of the playoffs by Sacramento in 2002. As Dallas was preparing for their second round matchup against Sacramento in this year's round 2, Dallas was looking for some revenge. Both these teams featured high-octane offenses with deep rosters, but Dallas was just objectively a bit deeper. Dirk was their revolutionary power forward. Steve Nash was an elite point guard able to score with the best of them and set up his teammates brilliantly. Veteran Michael Finley, whose combination of shooting, defense, and rebounding was a plus at shooting guard. And Nick Van Exel was an underrated spark off the bench, scoring 40 points in Game 2 and 36 in Game 3. Unfortunately for Sacramento, Chris Webber suffered a season-ending knee injury early in the series, and although Sacramento did force this series
Chris
all the
Webber
way
body
to
started
Game
breaking
7,
down on him.
Dallas's offense was just too much for Sacramento to handle. On the other side of the Western Conference bracket, the Lakers and Spurs met in the second round. Remember, it was these Lakers who swept the Spurs in 2001 and beat them in 5 games in 2002. So the Spurs, too, were looking to avenge some.
What ended up happening was, this is where the shift happened. This is where you go out and you get Tony Parker. This is when you get Manu Ginobili. This is when you get Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. Now you got a young core. You bring in Steven Jackson. Now your core is a little bit more younger. You got Greg Popovich coaching. Your team, yeah. They had it all together after that. They had the veteran present. They had the veteran presence, but they also had the new young guys. So this is when Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili came in, and the Spurs team became a motherfucker after this, bro.
Prior postseason trauma. This series featured arguably the 3 best players in the league in Shaq, Kobe, and Duncan. But at the end of the day, Duncan played like the best player out of the 3. Shaq was still a lot to handle inside, but was not as dominant as he had been.
He started regressing.
Kobe was, at this point, the most talented guard in the league, but the Spurs defense was able to...
Yeah, they was on his ass.
Brilliance. And Duncan was proving to the world that although Shaq and Kobe may have been the best singular talents at the time, Duncan was a better leader, elevating the play of those like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, and was a better talent when it mattered the most in these playoffs and in this series in particular. When the dust settled, San Antonio put an end to the Lakers dynasty by eliminating them in 6 games. The Lakers, who had looked invincible in the 3 years prior leading to the 2003 season, all of a sudden looked very human and very flawed. The end of the Lakers dynasty paved the way for a newer, albeit quieter and steadier one in San Antonio. But there is no dynasty without a championship, and San Antonio still had a lot of ground to cover. The Western Conference Finals was a Texas showdown between the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks, and although San Antonio was favored, it seemed Dallas was hitting their stride at the perfect time to complete the upset. Dallas actually went on to steal Game 1, with Dirk Nowitzki matching Tim Duncan's offensive output. However, after this initial upset, San Antonio proved their dominance and won the next 3 games. And in the final closeout Game 6, Steve Kerr came out of nowhere to hit 4 threes in the second half to put the game away. Over in the Eastern Conference, the Nets blazed through the playoffs, having only lost 2 games in the entire playoffs up until this point, and entering the NBA Finals on a 10-game winning streak. As New Jersey and San Antonio faced off in these finals,
this was the most garbage finals ever, bro.
Dominant finals performances.
This was the most garbage finals ever, bro.
24 points, 17 rebounds, 5
I was not watching this shit.
5 blocks. And to top
I was
it off,
outside.
In the series,
I was like, hey, the finals on. I'm outside, bro. Fuck that shit.
Near quadruple double with 21
I try to watch that shit. Shit garbage.
Rebounds, 10 assists, and 8 blocks. This performance in Game 6 and for the series in general was on the level of Shaq's 2000 finals performance against Indiana, a feat that no one thought any player in the modern NBA could come close to accomplishing, and this really cemented Duncan as truly one of the greatest players in NBA history. Ultimately, San Antonio emerged victorious to win their 2nd championship in 5 years. 2003 was the ultimate redemption story for San Antonio. After several playoff disappointments during the Lakers' dynasty from 2000 to 2002, the Spurs finally got their revenge against the Lakers, and Tim Duncan was finally getting the credit he deserved. His first championship in 1999 was seen as a fluke because it was during a shortened NBA lockout season. And although 2002 was an MVP year for Duncan, he still came up short in the playoffs. Overlooked no more, finally. 2003 established Tim Duncan as the best player in the league and one of the best players ever. And looking ahead to future years, we all know that he wouldn't be done collecting rings in this decade. With that being said, is Duncan the best player of this decade, or is it Kobe? Or is
It's Kobe. Stop it. It's Kobe. Stop it. Stop it. It's Kobe. It's Kobe. I get it. Tim Duncan had way more success, but Kobe three-peated. And then he went to 3 straight finals. Stop it. No, it's not up for discussion. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You can bring up the MVPs, but the Spurs never repeated a championship ever. All the championships they won, they never three-peated. It was all spread it out. They championships are spread it out. So nah, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. He didn't bring up Jordan retiring though. Like Jordan officially retiring. Like he didn't bring that up. Like he just skipped over it, but he had the audacity to put LeBron in here. Like LeBron and LeBron, not even in the league yet, was getting all the hype. It's like, nigga, he's not here. Talk about the NBA season. Talk about the NBA. LeBron does not matter at this point. He's still in high school. We don't care about high school LeBron finna get drafted. When he comes into the league, then talk about him. But no. And then you didn't even have the decency to bring up Jordan final year in the league, bro. That's I kind of see how you rocking, bro. I kind of see how you rocking. This is one of them LeBron fans. Too many of y'all out here, man. If y'all wasn't so weird and annoying, maybe I have a little bit more respect for you, boy. But because y'all weird and annoying and so disrespectful to other players that played the game, if they're not named LeBron, they're trash. Pretty much that's how y'all deem them. I can't rock with you, bro. So I already know what time it is. You didn't even want to acknowledge that this was Michael Jordan's final year in the league. I know he didn't do much this year, but still, to not acknowledge that this is the final year of the conclusion of his historic career, it kind of hurts this video a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. That did need to be put in here, but most definitely though. That's just gonna about do it for this one. I'll see y'all the next video. Till then, bye. Fuck LeBron.